but they're not from 80 million years ago. These are dinosaurs that drowned in the flood in the days of Noah. Well, man, you would have thought I had shot the sacred cow. I got called everything but a white boy for the next 6 months in the local paper right here in Pensacola. And finally, the university called me up, one of the people on the debate team there, and said, hey, you've been writing a lot of stuff about creation. Would you be willing to come debate one of our professors who believes in evolution? Well, I had never had a debate in my life except with my wife, and I lost those every time. How many understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So I was not excited about that, but I went out there and debated that guy. He'd been teaching evolution for 20 years, and it was an absolute slaughter. I couldn't believe they were that dumb. After 92 debates now and being turned down over 4,000 times, people have face-to-face refused to debate me on creation and evolution. I have decided they are all that dumb. They really are. Evolution is stupid. But this is a serious doctrine, though. It's not only one of the dumbest, it's one of the most dangerous religions in the history of planet Earth. See, if creation is true, God created man. If evolution is true, man created God. If creation is true, man brought death into the world. If evolution is true, death brought man into the world. These two views cannot possibly be more opposite. Evolution teaches we're getting better, and someday we get to be God. I cover more on that on my video part 5, the dangers of the evolution theory. Satan said to Eve in the Garden of Eden, hey, if you eat off that tree, ye shall be as gods. That's where the evolution idea got started. But God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Satan says, no, I want you to become God himself, okay? Before the flood, the Bible teaches people lived over 900 years. I believe you could learn an awful lot in 900 years. Many people have never even thought of this, but do you realize Adam spoke every language in the world? Because there was only one. Bible says we're made in God's image and we're getting worse. Things are not getting better. Things get worse with time, okay? If creation is true, man's made in God's image. The original man was huge, smart, disease-free, and designed to live forever. Man sinned and messed up the whole thing. If evolution is true, man evolved from animals without a creator or a designer. Original man was small, dumb, poorly designed, doomed to die early, and millions of years of death brought man into the world. These views, I'm telling you, are polar opposite. Somebody's wrong. And I enjoy showing them who they are, okay? So, what about the caveman? Where on earth do they fit into the picture? We teach the kids, this is Grandpa. Is it possible for an ape-like creature to turn to a human? Well, we cover a whole bunch more on the caveman on our videotape number 2 of our blue series of tapes out there on the table under the stairwell. I like to ask evolutionists this question. I say, guys, here we have Mount Rushmore, which is, as far as I know, the world's largest rock group. Do you think it's possible for the face of George Washington to appear on those rocks by chance? Do you think the wind could have done that? Could that have happened by, abrasion or erosion or exfoliation or thermal expansion of the rock? I mean, what caused the face to appear on the rock? And they'll say, oh, this was designed by a guy named Borglum, and he took a long time and he built it. Okay. Now, guys, do you believe George Washington himself, the original real George Washington, with 50 trillion cells in his body and over 20 systems that we know of that are all interdependent on each other, do you believe the real George Washington happened by chance? They'll say, yeah. I say, wait. You don't believe his face could appear on a rock by chance, but you do think his entire complex anatomy could happen by chance. Are you dumb in any other area? Was there a designer for that? How about just a car, a simple car? Do you think that was designed, or could that just happen by chance? This is nothing compared to one single cell in your body. Can a box evolve? Joyce saw my seminar years ago and wrote this book. It's so cute. It's so simple. Can an ink pen evolve? Could just a needle evolve to sew your clothes up with? It just goes through simple things. You realize, no, that could not evolve. The DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid in your body, is the most complex molecule in the universe. It is unbelievably complex. The DNA is. Was there a designer for that? Or did it just happen by chance? The Casio Databank stopwatch Mine holds 300 phone numbers. It's a calculator, it's a countdown timer, and a stopwatch, and an alarm clock. It does not tell time. I have to look at it. But this is an amazing machine, okay? Do you think this thing could have happened by chance? You don't have to see the designer to believe he exists. The watch itself is proof there was a watchmaker, whether you ever see him or not. It's interesting. Evolutionists argue against design using arguments they designed. Michael Behe's got a great book on the design of the single cells in your body. He spends an entire chapter talking about the hair on a bacteria. One single hair on a bacteria is unbelievably complex. It's attached to a little tiny motor. That motor is in the skin of the bacteria. That motor turns 100,000 RPM. We've got a model of it you'll see tomorrow at Dinosaur Adventureland. That motor is so tiny, if you took one hair off your head and chopped it off, 8 million of the motors would fit on the stump. Turns 100,000 RPM. And it's so powerful, it's able to make that bacteria swim the equivalent of a person, a human, swimming 60 miles an hour through peanut butter. That's how powerful that motor is. It is just phenomenal. And you think it happened by chance? Come see the model at Dinosaur. Did Ian Juby make it in? Ian, are you here tonight? He was going to come. He built a model for us.
He said he'd be here tomorrow.
Be here tomorrow. Had transmission trouble coming down from Canada. Any more Canadians? Canadian, hey, okay, good. Canadian, eh? Do you think there might have been an intelligent designer for the model? I mean, just the model took an intelligent designer. Ian's part of the Mensa Club. I mean, really intelligent. But this is child's play compared to the real ones. That's just, there had to be a designer, okay? There's a rock, but on the side of the rock, you notice, hey, there's somebody carved something on there. I mean, we'd all agree with the rock is probably a natural thing, but what about the design on there? Nobody with half a brain would say, well, that just happened by erosion. No, that was designed, okay? You see a bunch of rocks arranged in a particular order, you automatically conclude somebody designed it. Look, if you're walking through the woods and you find a painting hanging on a tree, you look around, there are no people, there are no footprints. You holler, hey, anybody out there? Nobody out there. And you can't find any evidence of anybody having ever been there. What do you conclude? Somebody made the painting, right? The painting itself is proof of the painter. Do you think our Dinosaur Adventureland is a result of just chance? Did the wind blow through there and assemble everything? I can assure you that is not how it happened, okay? Everything in this world is evidence of design. Do you think a little baby is evidence of design? Do you think that could have happened by chance? The creation view says very clearly that God made everything 6,000 years ago. 4,400 years ago, there was a big flood. A guy named Noah built a big boat, put all the critters on board, and everybody outside, their property value dropped to 0. And if you couldn't swim for a really long time, you had a real problem on your hands, okay? The evolution view says 20 billion years ago, there was a big bang where nothing exploded and produced everything. Somebody is clearly wrong. People say, isn't there a third position? Couldn't God use evolution? Well, the God that would use evolution is cruel, wasteful, stupid, and deceitful. It's not the God of the Bible, that's for sure. Jacques Monod said, natural selection is the blindest and most cruel way of evolving new species and more complex and refined organisms. It's a horrible process. He said, an ideal society is a non-selective society, one where the weak is protected, which is exactly the reverse of the so-called natural law. He said, I'm surprised a Christian would defend the idea that this is the process that God set up. Why would you blame God for the process of evolution? That's cruel, it's mean, it's awful, it's horrible, and there's no evidence for evolution anyway. So why should I take my perfectly good Bible, which has never been proven wrong, and compromise it with a dumb theory that has never